Our Region's Business is sponsored by PNC for the Achiever in You. Welcome to Our Region's Business with your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, downtown Pittsburgh residents finally get their wish, a brand new grocery store just off Market Square. We'll find out why the time has finally come. But first, a new leader has officially taken over the top job at the University of Pittsburgh. On Founders Day in February, Patrick Gallagher was officially installed as the 18th Chancellor at Pitt, which dates all the way back to 1787, just a couple of years before the United States got its Constitution. The Chancellor did have a running start. He's actually been on the job since last August, and he's already launched a major new initiative in partnership with Carnegie Mellon University and UPMC, a Pittsburgh Health Data Alliance that puts our region on the frontier of leveraging big data to improve health care. And Patrick Gallagher joins us today on Our Region's Business, and welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Good to have you. Won't say welcome to Pittsburgh. You've been here since August, so you're hardly a newcomer at this point, but you're actually not a brand new newcomer to Pittsburgh anyway, right?
This is chapter 3. So yeah, my mom was from Pittsburgh, so I spent a childhood visiting here on vacations. I was raised in Albuquerque, but came here frequently. And then I was a graduate student here at the University of Pittsburgh, so this is chapter 3.
Okay. Well, I would think coming and going must give you a really unique perspective on the evolution of this community over your lifetime.
There's no question. It's been, it's both a remarkable transformation and a very welcoming familiarity.
You know, that's really, well, I'm going to come back and talk a little bit about that too, because obviously, you know, Pitt has played such a big part in the transformation, especially over the last 20, 25 years, but all the way through Pitt's and Pittsburgh's history. But first, a little bit about the Health Data Alliance. That's kind of the new thing, or the latest thing that you've been working on. How did that come about, and what do you think its significance really can be to this community and the country?
Well, the significance, I think, could be transformational. And the genesis of this was probably equal measures of experience. Subra Suresh and I actually were working together on big data initiatives when we were both in government. So there was a little bit of a pattern of us working together and looking at this. But I would say the catalyst was really the unique opportunity present here in Pittsburgh, because what has, I think, frustrated past efforts in this arena before is being able to assemble all of the requisite skills and ability. And here, with these 3 institutions working together, you know, the whole really is greater than the sum of the parts. You have one of the nation's leading biomedical research universities in Pitt. You have one of the leading computer science programs in the country at CMU. And you have one of the leading health clinical operations in the country at UPMC, which is, you know, operating a multi-hospital system really ahead of the state of the art. And it's the combination of those 3 that really allows us to be positioned to transform this area.
And ultimately, I guess the goal to a research center at each of the universities, the financial support of UPMC, really transforming ultimately the way healthcare is delivered and practiced and what we understand about it through the use of all the data.
Right. And so I think what might be hard to understand is that, you know, what the Alliance announcement really does is set the stage for working together. So it allows for the 3 institutions to partner. It provides funding for the commercialization of ideas that's being provided by UPMC, and it creates these centers of excellence which allow faculty and students to focus on particular problems. But the real transformation is going to happen by the ingenuity of those students and professors working on specific problems, and that's what we're all excited to see.
Well, it is. I'm fascinated especially by your previous relationship with Dr. Suresh, because obviously we have new leadership now at Carnegie Mellon as well as at Pitt, and the partnership between those universities and UPMC has really been pivotal here over the last 25 years in driving a lot of the change here. And I got to say, I heard, oh, we're going to got the guy from the National Science Foundation, we got Gallagher from this. These are going to be inside the Beltway guys. They're going to be thinking nationally, globally. They're not going to really want to partner the way we've seen here in Pittsburgh. It sounds like you 2 were very attuned to it as soon as you each arrived in Pittsburgh.
Well, I think both of us realized that it was that ability to work together. This, you know, this very Pittsburgh habit of being civically focused, being willing to roll up our sleeves, whether it's, you know, companies working together or whether it's the universities working together. I think both of us were frankly attracted to Pittsburgh for that very reason. And the truth of the matter is, even in government, we had to work together to get things done, whether it was big data or advanced manufacturing. Subra and I had worked together productively and fruitfully in the past in that role. So we both saw this as a major opportunity to come in and take, two leading research universities that are literally across the street from each other and find new ways to get them to partner to open up doors that no one else can open.
I wonder, is it a bigger challenge now perhaps than it was, say, 20 years ago? There was such an influx of federal research spending, into higher ed, into R&D in the 80s and the 90s. Seems like there's not as much largesse out there as there used to be. Is it going to take a little more creativity and harder work going forward to be able to kind of build on the success we've had so far?
I think so. I think that if you look at the story of the United States when it comes to research spending, there's been a really massive shift since the 70s. The research enterprise of this country was basically 2/3 provided by the federal government in the 70s at the peak of the Apollo program and 1/3 by the private sector. Today, that situation is reversed. The R&D activity of the United States is done 2/3 by the private sector through companies.
Wow.
And only 1/3 is funded by the federal government. And the reality is that the whole enterprise matters, and universities need to be participating on both sides. So this need to partner with business and to collaborate with companies in research and to look at technology transfer, manage that basic to applied boundary, is something universities have to be good at. That doesn't mean every professor has to do it in every case, but that skill set and that ability is really important. And I think it's important to the region as well, because it's in those kinds of activities that the real economic power of a research university is felt by the region.
Yeah, Pitt already seemed to be headed down that path. I think about the Swanson School of Engineering
Right.
and some of the corporate partnerships. Sounds like you're thinking, though, across the board, they need to go even more aggressively in that direction.
Yeah, our toolbox has to be as good in those kind of commercial partnerships as it is in works of scholarly impact. Why limit our faculty and their ability to demonstrate the impact of their work? So we're focusing on this because we think it's an area where Pitt can do better, where we can be encouraging of this. We can foster partnerships. We can make the rules a little bit easier in terms of looking at how we manage IP and all the other kinds of things that support these relationships. And I think everyone's excited by it. But it is a very important area.
Yeah. Okay, when we come back, I want to talk a little bit about the other part of Pitt, which is basically educating students and the workforce of the future. So we'll be back with more with Patrick Gallagher, the new Chancellor of the University of Pittsburgh, in just a moment. Stay with us.